Hello and welcome to Glenmaroch Lane, the penultimate episode, Season 1, Episode 6. So, in this episode, I'm going to show you, obviously, more detail what we've done, more what we've achieved so far. So, without further ado, I shall show you the canopies. Now, as you can see in the canopies, they are now finished. They've now got painted. But on the last episode, this one nearest to me, the canopy was half done, but this is now complete, all painted up. The blue beams on the side there, obviously, are all done, and they're also weathered. And the lights are fitted underneath as well, which I think they were last time, to be honest. But also on the platforms, as you can see in the shot, we've actually got people on the benches, which weren't there before, which have been added. There's also on both platforms. Plus, just the last few hours, I've actually fitted the platform numbers hanging down from underneath the canopy. So they now, in my opinion, look really, really good. I'm really pleased with them, to be honest. So, yep, that's more or less complete. Obviously, there's weathering to be done on the platforms yet, and there's still probably a few more details to be added yet. And also, we're going to have, at the end of the platform, there's going to be a white, same as this fencing that's here, there's going to be a white fence at the end here for safety reasons, so that'll be put up. Plus, I'm going to add timetables onto it as well, so that obviously, in reality, there'll be timetables on the fence so people can read the times, what times the trains are and stuff. So I'm waiting on more fence to be ready for that, because at the moment I've run out, so I'm waiting for that delivery to arrive. Then I'm going to paint them, and then obviously then I will apply the fence on the end there. So moving on from there, as you can see now, we've actually started to ballast. Still a few bits to do yet, but as you can see, it's been added. We've also added the AWS ramps. We've also added the point motors, dummy point motors, and if you've also noticed, we've got the trunking coming down now as well. We've got one last little bit of trunking to go in, which once that is in, then we can start to ballast around that. Then we've also ordered, I've ordered another 3 signals, but one of them has to be specially made by Absolute Aspects, which will go, I think, here somewhere. I think it is. Also in the shot, if you can see, just behind where the fueling point and maintenance point is, I've started to add the yellow, what they call key clamp barriers. Again, I've run short of that, so I'm waiting for a delivery on that. Once that has been added in, and then I'm going to weather those, dirty them up a bit, so that obviously weathered in rather than just looking clear and gleamy. Also, I've added the same as at the back where the shed is, and also where the signal box is. Talking about the shed, we've now added another new shed, because the last one we had problems with. If you remember, we mentioned it in the last episode where the lights have actually failed. So we've now got another shed with LED lights, which are looking superb, which Mark actually spent time wiring them up, covering the wires, and it looks really, really good in the shot. So talking about the shed as well, is at the end of this video, there'll be a link put up so that you can see where it shows you Mark actually constructing the shed from start to finish, including adding the lights as well and giving it a bit of weathering as well. So that'll be something to look forward to as well. On top of that, I've also added stop signs just actually tonight, to be honest, in front of the shed, which you would have in reality before they enter the main shed. And then I think we've also added as well, which I don't think was in the last shot, we've now got a storage fuel tank at the end of the fueling point, which will need pipes eventually added to it to the actual fueling points and stuff. So that'll be added in probably the next video you'll see. That's been added. I think there's a fence being put around there. We've also added the small picket fence as well, which wasn't in before. That's all been done, painted up. Still needs a slight bit of weathering on it yet, but that'll be added in due course. And also we've added a few more lights as well for the pathway at the back, where the bridge is. So, moving on to the distillery area. Now, as you can see, we've now actually got a name to the actual building. So, this was actually done, purchased from eBay from a guy who actually makes custom-made signs for whatever you need, factories or whatever. So, came across this by a pure accident and found out, oh, this would be good. So, got the name done. As you can see, obviously, it stands out really, really well. I must say, though, that behind the actual lettering, we had actual white thing which supports the letters, like I don't know, whatever you want to call it, support, I suppose. But we actually coloured the actual in-between bits black so that you can't see and you just see the actual letter standing out. So, in my opinion now, that looks far better than it did without the actual name. But we were going to plan on putting a name there anyway, so I thought we'd actually put this in and get it glued on. So, that looks now absolutely the business. And also, as you can see as well, is now we have the ballast complete round here, which obviously wasn't in the last episode. That's all done together with the trunking. All the trunking is laid down. I've put the ballast in the actual removable tunnel, so that's complete. We've also added the AWS ramps, which are now in. The cabinets are in. Signals are in. Dummy point motors are in. The only thing we've got to do when we get round to it is, you probably can't tell on camera, is the actual light on the station was dimming down a bit. But other than that, everything's looking really hunky-dory. Still a lot of details to go in here yet, but as you can see, it's looking more and more complete as time goes on. But yeah, going back to what I was saying before, while I'm in the distillery area, you can see the pathway here where the lights are. They're all matching in now, so it all matches really good. So we've got obviously bushes and hedges and God knows what to go around there to give it more realism. And it also, which was an absolute pain in the butt, the same fencing that we've got here next to the platform, I don't know the other side of the bridge. These fences look realistic, but they're so fiddly to put in. and thread the wire through. But I must admit, it looks absolutely the bee's knees. So yeah, that's all been done. So I'm happy with that now. Again, obviously we've got the trunk in here next to the signal box. Oh, and we've also put down, which I didn't mention before, the catch pits, which we've still got a few more put in here once we get the ballasting done. But yeah, they're complete. They're in. I've also added the crossing, wooden sleeper crossing from the mess area to the TM, well, not the TMD, the actual fueling point and that. So that's in. Oh, and another thing we've got to add as well is we've now started to include the block detection, which you, Mark, will actually explain more what involves with that. But we have just recently just added that and kind of got it working to understand where the locos are sitting. But again, I'll let Mark explain that to you in more detail in the little build. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, comments, whatever you want to do. And I'll see you in the final video of Season 1. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.